Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Dina from leftlanefinds, and today I'm going to do some more solds for you guys. I know I love watching other YouTubers who talk about what items sold and how much profit did they make on those, and so I'm going to go over that. And this is a take two for me because I had some technical difficulties the first time I recorded it. So it turned out to be a pretty long video, so you guys, hope you're ready for that. You can always watch it in segments. And I'm going to add a Poshmark haul, just 5 items at the end. So if at some point you get tired of hearing all of the solds, you can fast forward and get to that as well, and then just watch to see what things that I normally find and put up on Poshmark. So let's just get started. So the first thing I sold was a Jack Jill kids top. It had like a snowflake. It was like a very glittery looking snowflake on it. I paid $2 and sold that for $7.99. So that was not quite a 300% return on that. So I do sell kids clothes, women's, men's. Not too much on the men's. I'm just starting to get into more of the men's, mostly shoes. I do have some Christmas ties though. And but anyways, that's too much talking. Let's get into the next item. So the next thing I sold was a set of 4 bowls. It was Franciscan Atomic Starburst. Everybody who does vintage knows to be on the lookout for Atomic Starburst. And if you don't know what that is, look it up on eBay and look for the solds. They sell for extremely good money. I bought those 4 bowls for $11.96, and I sold them for $120. And how I did it was I had 2 listed up. I was selling them for $30 a piece, and I sold those. I immediately messaged the person who bought them and told him I had 2 more that I was getting ready to list, and if he wanted them, I was going to list them right, like within a minute of him saying yes. I was listing them up, and if he wanted them, he should go out and try to get them right away. And if he gets them, then I would give him discounted shipping on all 4 bowls. And that's exactly what happened. He said, yes, I want them. I activated the listing. He bought them immediately, and I sold them. So that is another way of selling more items with not a lot of effort. The next thing I sold, so my profit on that was just under 800%. It was a high 700% return, let's put it that way. The next thing I sold was some vintage crewel pictures. They were like small little, 5x7s or 4x6s, I think. And it had said coffee and sugar on them. One had a frame, one didn't. They needed a lot of love. I bought them because they were 50 cents, I think, at a garage sale. I don't know what I was thinking. So I just put them up on eBay for 99 cents, like an auction, and only one person bid it on them. And I was just glad to get them out the door, let somebody else give them the love they need, and get them cleaned up and reframed. And I'm sure they are in somebody's vintage kitchen right now. Or if they're a reseller, they redoing them and making a lot more money than I did. I did get my money back, plus a little bit of profit, just some pennies though. The next thing that sold was a set of 4 Mikasa vintage green mugs. They were on the small side, and I sold those on Etsy, and I paid $1.98 for those, and I sold them for $26.10, which was probably because I ran a sale, which I do on Etsy sometimes. So I'm also telling you a little bit about how you can make sales. Sometimes you list it and people will come, people will see it, buy it. Other times you have to run sales or or contact the buyers or do other things. You have to put your prices up, put your prices down, all kinds of things. So the next thing was let's see, that was over 800% return on that. Then I had men's Merrell hiking Moab shoes, and I paid up for these, and I just knew that Merrells would sell very quickly, and they did. I paid $14.99 for them, and they sold for $45. Though that's only 160% return on that. And so my learning curve there is despite the fact that they were Merrells, I should have just left them. I did make some profit, but I need to get them for like half that dollar amount. You know, buy them for $7 a pair, not $15 a pair, or $5 a pair if I can find them somewhere. But the thrift stores know that those are expensive brands, so they usually price them up. But you know, if you hit them on a half price day, you might get those for a pretty decent price. So the next thing was a Hazel Atlas turquoise candy dish, and oh my god, it was so pretty. So it was triangle shaped. It was awesome, and I paid $3.03 for that and sold it for $22. So that was over a 400% return. So kind of makes up for the other ones, the other items that I didn't sell for a lot of money. The next thing was some impromptu Iroquois orange floral. They were like serving bowls. They were oval shaped by Ben Siebel, and I paid $3 for a set of 6, which that right there tells you you're going to make money no matter what. For you know, so I sold those for $28, and I made just under 800% return on those. Let's see, I got to move my screen up here a little bit. Just bear with me. And the next thing was some Illuminart green honeycomb stem wine glasses. They were clear at the top and green on the bottom with that honeycomb to them. And I paid $1.98 for 2, and I sold them for $26 on eBay. Although I could have swore those were on Etsy. I think they were on Etsy. Well, whatever. It was a 900% return. Then the next thing, well, you guys know I bought that entire set of Franciscan Desert Rose dishes, and I'm piecing it out. So this was the covered butter dish, so each piece is roughly 84 cents or something like that is what I was paying for the per dish piece, and so this sold for $9.40, which you're like, oh, that's not a lot of money. It had a crack on it on the one side, not the long side, but the short side. And so I had to sell it, you know, with that crack on it. It was still very usable and still very pretty. So I didn't, you know, I didn't make a lot on that one. So yeah, that's okay. I'll make more on some of the other pieces. So the next thing I sold was, and I got this at the bins, this tapestry wool yarn. It was full skeins. They were little tiny skeins, and some of them were full skeins, some of them were partials. It was just mixed colors. There was greens and yellows and different browns and different colors. I put it all together as one big lot, like a mixed bag lot, and it actually sold international. I paid $1.03 for it because it was at the bins, and I sold it for $20. So I thought that was pretty good. That equates to like a 1,600% return. So when you getting things at the bins is another. I mean, I know people they don't like the bins, they don't have good bins around them. It's, you know, we just happened to be somewhere where the bins were close by, and I took advantage of going to them. So the next thing I sold here was some Blue Ridge Southern Pottery, the 3 teacups that I could never identify the pattern, and but that name is still well known. Paid $2.97 for the cups and sold them for $12. And let's see here. The next thing is a Pyrex butterfly, the butterfly gold. Now the butterfly gold is like Corelle, but Pyrex also makes pieces that complement the Corelle dishes, and this happened to be the covered butter dish. I believe they're much older than the Corelle dishes themselves, and well, not completely much older, but they got to be in the early in the 70s for that. And let's see here, I paid $2.02 for the butter dish, and I sold it for $12.99. The next, and that was on eBay. The next thing was an Etsy sale. I sold a ceramic vintage penguin mug. It was these penguins diving into the water, and I paid 58 cents for that, and I sold it for $12. And let's see what is, and again with Etsy, well, they paid shipping, but they only paid partial of the shipping on that. Yeah, because the shipping was, yeah, more than what they paid for in terms of the shipping. But because I paid so little for the mug, I ended up making like over 1,600% return on that. Let's see here. Then the next thing was a cross-stitch Notre Dame. It was the Notre Dame church, but not the one in France. It's the one on the campus of Notre Dame and the university. Paid $6. Actually, Alyssa Green Bee Explorer paid $6 for that and sold that for $19.99. So she made profit on that. Not a lot of profit, but still, profit's profit. That was just under 200% return on that. The next thing was some more Franciscan Desert Rose salt and pepper shakers. So those were 84 cents, and I sold those for $11. So that was a nice, huge return on that. Let's see here. The next thing is this Mikasa. It was the duplex green flower plates. There was 8 of them. There was small ones and big ones. I think it was only 3 of the large and 5 of the smaller, like salad plates. And they were screaming vintage. It was green with this big green flowers on them, and they were just so cool looking. And I paid $4 for them at the garage sale, which was a couple streets back from my house here, and I sold them for $50.99 plus shipping on that. Most of this is going to be their shipping, like the people paid shipping on this. And then Etsy, it's like they pay part and I pay part, so it's all figured in the math, right? But anyways, the next thing is I got this little brown, he was a very mean looking owl. He was like he had a mean look on his face. I paid $2.99 for him, so I probably paid too much for him. I only sold him for $9.99, so I made under a 200% return on him. So on the plates, that was like a 1,200% return. The next thing was something that Green Bee Explorer had bought. It was a white crystal Murano style bowl. It was like yellows, and it was all wavy. It was so cool looking. She paid $11.12 for it, and I sold it on Etsy for her for $32. That was a long time for that to sell because it was not a real Murano bowl. So it's not like they don't sell. It's just that they have a long tail in terms of you can list them and they just stay on there forever, but you eventually sell them, and then the return was not a lot. So if it had been a real bowl, oops, I didn't mean to do that. If it had been a real Murano bowl, it would have went for a lot more than $32, that's for sure. And then she would have been very happy. The next thing was a small Pyrex with the clear lid. Now this is the small, really small, not the mixing bowls, but the little tiny serving dishes, and it had the white flat lid that fits on it, that has 2 little handles on it. I got that for $3.99. I actually think I got it in pieces. I think I bought the lid separate from the bowl, or that might have been the one before that I did that. So I can't remember if I bought this together with the lid or not, but I've done that before. If you go to a thrift store, they have an area where it's just lids. It's usually with the pots and pans, and you can find the Pyrex lids, and lids for any pots and pans that if you're into selling pots and pans or any of that too, you can find lids to all the, to your own pots and pans, and ones to resell as well. But I always look for ones that fit the vintage items. So that's another way of putting the collection together. So that sold for $16. So not a lot of profit because it was kind of tiny. So some of the small items, you do sell them, you do make a little bit of profit, but not a lot of profit. So, you know, I may or may not, you know, look for the, you know, pick those up in the future here. You know, I'd be like, I made okay money. It sold pretty quickly, but now that does add up. I say that, and then you know, it's cash flow. You have that constant cash flow. You're multiplying your money. Then you take that money and then you buy something bigger or more expensive to make even more money. So you can't completely discount it. And the moment you say you're not going to do it, you probably buy it again anyways. And I'll try not to say that anymore. So the next thing was some butterfly gold. Now this is the Corral butterfly gold. I sold 4 cereal bowls, and I paid $3.99. Thrift stores, they do charge you about $1 a piece for the Corral, and I sold them for $14.99. So that's a little over 200% return. And let's see here. Oh, then I did something that I don't know. I rarely do this, although just recently I had some of my old inventory. I just want to move it along. And so I literally sold this woman on Poshmark 2 belts and 2 tops for cost. I took what I knew what my cost was, and then I added what I knew if I charge a certain dollar amount, I know what the fees are for Poshmark. So I literally broke even 0. No profit made, but I actually get my money back that I actually paid for those items, and then I can go buy something that actually will have some profit. And these belts I think I had on there for, and the tops that she bought, everything that she bought, I think everything had been on there for like 3 years, like 2 or 3 years. I don't know, it was a long time. And I just wanted them to move along. It was White House Black Market. In terms of, it was a really good brand. It was a small size belt. You can, you know, other things you can sell, smalls, extra smalls in certain brands, no problem. But belts, I don't think I'm ever going to buy a small belt again, because I sold the same brand belt but in a larger size, and it sold immediately. So I know better now to buy something in a different size. So the next thing that sold was a Yankee Candle shade topper. I've been buying those, completely modern, and it was the Orchard one with the apples, although they do discontinue certain ones, and I know sometimes people buy them and they break or something happens and they want to replace what they have, and that's why I think these sell for pretty good money. I paid $3.99 for it, and it sold for $22.99. The next thing was the green Harker Tibbet tray, and that I paid $4.99, and sold that on eBay for $21. So the Yankee Candle was over 400% return. The Tibbet tray was just under 300% return. Let's see here. Then I had the Santa Claus, the counted cross stitch. The white Santa was pretty sizable. He was so pretty. I paid $3.99 for him, and he sold for $20. So that was a 350% return roughly. And the next thing was on Poshmark, I sold a Steelers, a V-neck tee. It was very tiny for a woman, and I paid $1.80 for it and sold it for $11. So that was a little over 300% return. The next was a 31, the one strap backpack. It was very colorful. I had so many people on eBay and Poshmark interested in this. I mean, so many people were looking at it. And I bought it for $3, and I ended up selling it for $18. I think it was an offer. I think she made me an offer, and I accepted it. I had gotten lowball offers, which happens on Poshmark. You get these lowball offers, and I declined those. I immediately declined lowball offers. I don't ignore them. I decline them immediately, so the person knows that that was like insulting. So that they're well aware that, because if you just ignore them, they are like, oh, you know, they don't know that that was unacceptable. You know, it's unacceptable to give people lowball offers. So the next thing I sold was, and I I will be on the lookout for these type of things. It was the Snoopy's Christmas vintage Christmas album, and the graphics on it was very, very vintage. Both sides of it had extremely good graphics on it. It was he was flying with the Red Baron. It was in a plane. It was Santa in a plane. So it's not Snoopy, the Peanuts character. It was a different one. And I paid 51 cents for this album and sold it for $10.99. So that's a huge return. It's not a lot of dollar return, but it's a huge return that you can turn 50 cents, into a lot more money to go buy some more stuff. But if you sell a lot of those, if I found 10 of those albums, oh my gosh, I mean, I might have bundled them up and then sold them, and then that would have been good return that way. Then you make some good money that way. But then I just take this money, I'm going to buy something better, and I'm just going to multiply my money again. Do that 2 or 3 times. The next thing was some crocheted cotton. It was little tiny spools that I'd gotten at the bins. And I paid by weight. It was only like 37 cents, and I sold them for $10. Again, extremely good return on that. That's like a 2100% return. The album, these were both on eBay, was like 1700% return. The 2 Peter Rabbit mugs that came with the plate, I didn't sell the plate because it was damaged. I paid $3.99, and I sold that for $10.99. So not a huge return. That was under 200% return on that. I sold a pair of Merrell's black fur-lined clogs for women. I bought these in Pennsylvania at my favorite church thrift store that's there, which I'm now like hundreds of miles away from. Paid $4, and I sold them for $29.45. I listed them on eBay. They sold in 1 day. That's I know that brand sells, and if you can get it for the right price, you will make good return. So that was a little over 300% return on those. Now the clogs don't sell as much as some of the other things, and I used to always try to get Merrell's for like $3 and under. At garage sales, you can find them that way. Obviously, with the men's shoes, I paid way too much, even though I got so much more money for them. It wasn't a huge return for me. Still good money in terms of the money you're making. Maybe the margins are smaller, the percent return. The margin's smaller, but the dollars are bigger. You have to think about that too. So you can play this both ways. The next thing, I actually sold the Vera Bradley, the red shoulder bag with the matching wallet on eBay, and the person never paid and went through the whole process through eBay, and then eBay refunded me all the fees and allowed me to relist. So they're like, do you want to relist this? Yes, I do. Put it back up. So that happens sometimes, so I gotta wait to resell that one. And let's see here. The next thing was a Crazy Horse jean jacket I sold on eBay. I paid $4 at a thrift store, and I sold it for $17.19. I'm gonna have to take a drink here. And I don't know if I made the boo-boo, although sometimes people say eBay did it, but I think maybe I did it. Somehow it was marked as free shipping. So I had to eat the shipping on this. I would have never sold it for $17 free shipping. The item was worth $17.99, but it should have been plus shipping. So I ended up making a 90% return on that. I did get my money back, obviously, but I didn't make much profit, which happens. And you gotta take your lumps as a reseller. All kinds of things happen. So let's see here. There was a pair of sunflower salt and pepper shakers that my daughter had found at the bins, but she paid 70 cents for them, and she listed them for $2.99 because they had chips on them. She thought nobody's ever going to buy these. A gentleman bought them and sent me a little note and said that his wife had the exact same pair. Now these were modern too, and he had just broken one, and he had been looking and looking and looking for replacement salt and pepper shakers, because I'm imagining that she has sunflowers throughout her whole kitchen or a sunroom or something like that. And So he was so happy to get those. So not a lot of profit. Well, actually, she made decent profit because she had paid so little for it. So it went back to, because he paid shipping on top of that. And so she made a 500% return on it. It's not a lot of dollars. She didn't make a lot of dollars, but she made a good percent return. And let's see here. The next thing is a Chico's new with tags green cardigan, which I showed you guys in a thrift haul. Sold that on Poshmark. Got a 500% return. I paid around $2 for it, I think. Between $2 and $4. Let's say $3 because that one I put in there $2, but I'm not sure that that's what I paid for it. And so maybe a 400% return, and they paid $16 for it. Then the next thing was a Treasure Craft, the Owl Ashtray. I had a live sale, which wasn't a successful live sale. It didn't actually work out to be that. But one of my friends was actually watching and being supportive, and she liked that to give as a gift for Christmas. She lives up the street from me, so she texted me later and said, I'd like to buy that from you. And so she did, and I walked it up to her house, free delivery. The profit was like under 200% return on that. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know if I told you how much. I paid $2.99 and sold it for $8. So, I guess the only way I made good profit at all on that was because there was no fees involved, and I didn't have to worry about shipping it. But they would have paid for shipping anyways if I had sold it on eBay or Etsy. The next thing was the cat on the radiator teapot, and this was so adorable. I'm surprised it did not sell. It was skinny like this, and when you turned it sideways, it was a teapot, and top of the radiator was the black cat, and it was the lid, like you could open it up there, and he was sitting on a blanket. It was absolutely adorable. I bought that a while ago for $2.99, and I sold it for $27 on Etsy. The next thing, and this was everybody was saying that this is get these shoes, these are the best shoes to sell. They're the SAS black men's shoes. They did sell. However, I paid too much for them. So I will still be on the lookout for these shoes, but I am going to make sure I don't pay what I paid $16.99 for these shoes. That's ridiculously high. I knew it was high when I bought them for that price, but I wanted to put them on eBay, see how long it took them, see what price I got for them. I got $39.99 for them, and so I made a little over 100. I made about 100% return. Getting my money back on those after all of the fees and all that, and plus what I paid for them. So next time I will try to get them cheaper. The next item I sold was a pink. I'm just moving this up a little bit. Let me bring you guys back. It was a pink top by Lauren Conrad. It was new with tags. And this is actually, it was, I think, sold in Kohl's originally. Normally for like $44. So even if it was half price, it would be about $22 or whatever. I sold it. I had posted it on Instagram. I don't post everything that I resell on Instagram, but I put that up as a highlighted item. And somebody contacted me on Instagram and said, can I buy that? How much is it? I had it cross-posted to eBay and Poshmark. I gave her a discount for doing a direct sale, so we just did it through the DMs, as they say. I invoiced her through PayPal, and I did the shipping label through Pirate Ship. I paid 40 cents for the top, and I sold it to her for $16. So I still made a pretty good percent return on that because the top only weighed, I think, 4.5 ounces, something like that, 5 ounces, somewhere in that range. And I got that at the bins. And then, so that was like a 3,000% return, which was kind of nice. They still got it for a really good price, and it was a new with tags item, so that's awesome. The next thing I sold was one of those Bordalo Pinheiro, I think is how you say it, Pinheiro, green plates, and I paid $1.99 for it. Sold it on Etsy for $19, and that was a 400% return. Now this video is going to get really, really long. I actually did it faster the second time through, but it's still long. Sorry for that. And the next item is going to be, I sold a pair of Levi's 525 perfect waist jeans, which I am going to get into a lot more jeans. Jeans sell well on eBay. If you get them and they're in good condition, you can pay, you know, $4 or $5 for a pair of jeans, and you will get $25 to $35 for pairs of jeans. Unless they're the more desirable jeans, then you're selling them for $40 and $45, or sometimes even higher than that. So always be on the lookout for good jeans. I have some Miss Me jeans that I haven't even listed yet. I don't think I even showed them to you guys. So those I paid $5, sold them for $33. And oh, that included shipping. I actually included the shipping, so I still made just under a 400% return on that. Oh, you know what? No, it's going to be less than that because I haven't put the fees in there. I just noticed I'm missing the fees. I have to add the fees in there from eBay. And then the next thing was the Lefton Hollyberry Teapot, which I was trying to sell at my live sale, but nobody came to it. It sold on Etsy, so now it's gone. I believe I paid like $4 for it, and I sold it for $20 plus shipping. At least the discounted shipping that I give them. So that is everything that I have sold from the end of September right up until today, till December 4th. That was December 4th, because you guys aren't going to see this till later. So I'm going to go through. Let me put these down this way. I want to start with this. This is what I showed you guys in the thumbnail. So this is my Poshmark items that you guys don't always see. And this is an American Eagle. It's a really long knit skirt. Or not knit. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm getting punch drunk. But anyways, it's a size medium, but you know American Eagle Outfitters is for the younger crowd, so I would imagine that this is more on the small side. But I just thought that was really neat. I love that the high split on that, and it's striped. It's just perfect for the holidays and for winter. The next, and here's where I sell kids clothes, women's clothes, anywhere from extra small up to double XL. And this happens to be an extra large, but look at this cardigan. Do you see it catching the light? It's got sequins in here. And just look at the pattern on that. That is awesome. This is just so, and it's in perfect condition. There is just nothing wrong with it. It's a Laura Ashley extra large. Again, these are all in Poshmark. A few items might be cross-posted to eBay, but I've been doing a lot more of the vintage things on eBay and less of the clothing, but there's still clothing on eBay. This is White House Black Market, and look at this. This is a nice tunic. And this is the classic paisley look to it. Look at the colors in that. I just love that. It's like that dark turquoise, and of course the white and black, and then they have the red and some grays in there. And this is a size medium in their brand, so it's not the same as the medium from the younger crowd. So it's a women's medium. Women's meaning more mature woman. And this I thought was really neat. This is by Karen Scott. Karen Scott. I just liked it. It has that reflective silver in there with the yellow, and again, this looks like it was never worn. There is just nothing wrong with it. This is the double XL. Like I said, I do all sizes. And then I have this little skater shirt from Hurley. I just thought this was really nice, comfortable. It's got the little Hurley logo down there. A nice color, again in perfect condition. It's got the longer hem here that hangs over like your jeans. It's a size medium, but it's medium in like the younger crowd mediums. So that is my 5 items I wanted to show you from that I have up on Poshmark. So this is a solds and a small haul for you guys. And I know this is extremely long. All of the links to my social media and all of my selling pages are down below. Please give me that thumbs up. Throw any comments or questions down below in the comments, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about what I'm selling, where I'm finding it, how much I'm paying for it, what am I getting for it. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell, and you'll get notified of my live sales. And I'm going to be doing a lot more live chats, and I will see you guys later. Talk to you. Bye.